Yup, this shit slaps. I can't help but feel like this entire LP is literally the sound you get when a band says fuck you to the man and dedicates themselves to making the music they want to make. Whether or not that's actually the case, we'll probably never know. But for the life of me, I cannot summarize my feelings about Hail Stand any other way. This album is loud, it's irregular, sporadic, bombastic, and every other synonym I could use to describe something that a record label would find unappealing. But it's all of these things in a good way? And really, what other band but Periphery could find a way to make such an erratic sounding LP also sound so goddamn clean? Formalities out of the way, I've been a Periphery fan since day one. Hell, I'm pretty sure Icarus Lives was the first gent song I ever heard. At least it was the first one I heard that left a real impression on me. And Periphery 3 is one of my favorite LPs of all time. That should give you pretty good context from where I'm coming from here. And as to why I was very hesitant about hearing Blood Eagle for the first time. Blood Eagle was nowhere close to Periphery 3's much more melodic and harmonic sound. Hell, this was the farthest thing from Loon I think you could get. But I wasn't completely turned off either. Blood Eagle was abrasive and jarring, sure, but there was just enough rhythm scattered throughout to keep you hanging on while it rattled your very core with how heavy it was. And just to remind you that this is still the Periphery you know and love, that instrumental section in the back half proves to you that this heaviness isn't here to completely replace the Periphery we've come to expect. I'm really glad Blood Eagle was the first single we got from Hail Stand, because to me, it perfectly encapsulates what this album is. It's a metal album that slaps fast and hard, but one that does it without sacrificing the beauty and melody progression metal is known for. The rest of the tracks on Hail Stand almost play like varying representations of that mixture between heavy and progressive. Some like Church Burner just being balls to the wall bangers that are all aggression and speed, while others, like It's Only Smiles, are the more mellow-paced, clearly melodic Periphery tracks we love and expect to hear. And like Blood Eagle, others have a healthy incorporation of both. Take Reptile, the 16-minute paragon of an opening track. It plays with everything Periphery keeps in its toolbox, including that newly rediscovered heaviness, to create something that appeals to both of these extremes. I mean, I feel like I'm experiencing heavy metal Cirque du Soleil when I listen to Reptile. The operatic mixes and brutal breakdowns are ebbing and flowing perfectly here. I cannot overstate how triumphant Reptile is though. Honestly, this masterpiece instantly became a contender for my favorite Periphery track. Reptile even manages to plant an electronic seed with its outro, one that inevitably blooms into Crush, the experimental electronic cyber gent track that comes much later in the LP. Crush could have easily felt tacked on here, and yet it still feels like it belongs because of its powerful, reverberating undertone fading in and out, a tone that is repeated throughout all of Hail Stand. I don't think this track would work nearly as well on any other Periphery LP, because without that sense of brutal weight the rest of Hail Stand presents, Crush would feel like an experiment gone too far. There's a part of me that wishes Crush was longer, incorporating more of that brutality found in Blood Eagle and Church Burner, but ultimately it does work in a less is more kind of way. I mean, I would love to hear Periphery incorporate more electronic layers now that I've heard what they can do with it. Of course, I can't forget the bookend to this minefield of progression, Satellites. In many ways, this acts as the Loon to Hail Stand, starting out slow and enticing you with pleasantly smooth melodies. But don't let it fool you, because if you're paying attention to the lyrics, you'll be given a hint to the doom and destruction that comes crashing back in about halfway through. This is us, this is life, suicide. Now all we care for is blood and satellites. It's an existential, tragically pessimistic take on our hyperpolarized culture and abuse of the planet. One that Periphery tries to give some levy at the end, with a cheeky little
suck my balls.
Almost as if to remind us that we all need to try our best to lighten up, even if we're surrounded by doom and glue. I'd be remiss if I failed to mention Sotelo vocals here, and my god does he sound as good as he's ever been. I'm not sure if it's because of the wide and diverse range he gets to showcase in the epics like Satellites and Reptile, but Spencer Sotelo nails all of it, and his vocals have never sounded better. I mean, as if you needed another reason to appreciate Reptile, pay special attention to Sotelo's vocals throughout, and how he manages to express each repeated verse and chorus in impressively varying ways. I'm also going to go out on a limb and say that very few vocalists could nail the clean, operatic lines of "There must be something in the water, he threw that gaping brain asunder," while also maintaining the blistering highs of "Soil we own becomes ours, order back in what we know." So what's my takeaway? Well, despite experimenting with blustering sounds and full-on electronic backings, Periphery manages to make an album that fleshes out all of these varying representations of heavy brutality and melodic beauty. Hailstan uses what we already love about Periphery's sound to convince us that new sounds and styles are best used as an aid to strengthen what we already love, rather than a crutch to be leaned on for creative scarcity. By using that progressive metal label to their advantage, Periphery has crafted an LP that reminds us that beautiful music can also be heavy as fuck. 9 reptilian circus performers out of 10. My name is Sir Crips. If you want to hear more, you know what to do.